dark, eerie visuals of an old, abandoned house sitting under a blood-red moon. Fog crawls across the ground like grasping fingers. A distant, chilling whisper echoes through the air. Quick flashes of paranormal footage. A door creaking open by itself. A flickering candle in an otherwise dark room. A shadow standing motionless at the end of a long hallway. A whisper, unintelligible yet chilling, growing louder. Old newspaper clippings flicker onto the screen, their headlines telling a horrifying tale. Family mysteriously vanishes overnight. Local man found in catatonic state after entering house. Strange lights seen at 3 a.m. The Holloway curse, a century of fear. The story begins in 1897. A grainy black and white photograph appears. The Holloway family stands in front of the house. Victor Holloway, his wife Eleanor, and their 2 children. Their eyes seem unnaturally dark, their expressions stiff and hollow. Victor Holloway, a reclusive scholar, built the house believing he could bridge the world of the living and the dead. But he was wrong. Old journal pages flash onto the screen, his words scrawled in a frenzied, uneven hand. They speak at 3 a.m. They know me. They are not human. One night, the Holloway family vanished without a trace. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Only an open front door and a chilling message, smeared in blood across the dining room wall. The screen zooms into a faded photograph of the wall, the words barely visible, but terrifying nonetheless. The shadows whisper at 3. Cut to present-day footage of the house. Abandoned, its windows shattered, the front door barely hanging on its hinges. Overgrown vines claw at the walls, and something moves behind the curtains. For over a century, countless people have tried to uncover the truth. Paranormal investigators, skeptics, thrill seekers. Some never came back, and those who did were never the same. The front porch creaks underfoot as an unseen figure steps onto it. The wind howls, carrying an eerie whisper that seems to say, "Turn back." The camera pans up to the second-floor window. A shadow flickers, gone in an instant. The front door creaks open on its own. Inside the house, the air is thick. Dust particles float like tiny ghosts. The floorboards groan under invisible weight. The atmosphere is wrong, heavy, as if the house itself is breathing. A flashlight flickers. A faint whisper echoes from the hallway. Too close, too real. The first rule of paranormal investigations: if you hear something whisper your name, leave immediately. A recorder is placed on an old wooden table. The button is pressed. Silence. Then, static. A faint whisper plays back. One word, leave. The sound of slow footsteps upstairs. The air seems to shift. The shadows stretch, elongating unnaturally. Someone or something is upstairs. A dusty grandfather clock in the hallway ticks, 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 then stops. Its hands freeze at 2:59 a.m. The screen zooms into the clock face. The second hand twitches, then moves, slowly to 3 a.m. The house suddenly feels alive. The floorboards shift as if something is walking just beneath them. The walls seem to pulse, the wallpaper curling as if trying to peel itself away. The shadows along the walls move, even when nothing else does. A deep, guttural whisper fills the air, layered voices speaking at once. You should not be here. You should not be here. You should not be here. A door slams shut somewhere upstairs. A chair scrapes across the floor, on its own. The EVP recorder on the table suddenly plays back a distorted scream. The flashlight flickers violently, then dies. The screen plunges into darkness. A sudden deafening crash, heavy breathing. The screen flickers. In the dim light, a figure, not fully visible but there, looms in the hallway, unmoving, watching. The static distorts the camera feed. Heavy, panicked breathing fills the silence. The front door won't open. The knob won't turn. The whispers grow louder, overlapping, merging into an ear-piercing wail. The floorboards tremble. A dark stain seeps from the walls like ink or blood. A single shrill scream pierces the air. Then, silence. The camera tilts to the ceiling. Dozens of shadowy hands reach down from the darkness above. Footage from outside the house. The sky is eerily still. A deep silence blankets the world. The camera slowly zooms in on the house. In the second-floor window, a figure stands, barely visible, watching. The whispering starts again, faint at first, then louder and louder until the screen cuts to static.